Hello, everyone. This is your Love and Finance Tarot Guidance for the month of December 2023. I'm sending this one out into the world free to all this month through YouTube and your favorite podcast providers, including my podcast host, Podbean. At this time, I want to mention the options which will be available for my yearly tarot guidances, which include a general tarot guidance overview for 2024, as well as individual sun sign readings for the year. Regular subscribers can find them on my website, tarotbycecilia.com, the Patreon app, or by joining my YouTube channel. I will be announcing one-time flat fee options available only on my website and possibly Facebook. Those details will be included in my daily videos when the readings become available. I will also be offering a year-end holiday special price for reading packages, which will be at a substantial savings. That will be announced in my dailies as well. As for my monthly love and finance readings, they can be found as part of a subscription package in the aforementioned places, included as part of the standard tier. Now, on to December. The month kicks off with Mercury's entrance into the sign of Capricorn on the 1st. This is a more serious transit for Mercury, as it leaves fun-loving Sagittarius and takes on a goal-oriented way of thinking. There is a greater focus now toward completion, perhaps reaching year-end deadlines, but nose to the grindstone energy is here to get the job done. This will, however, be an extra long stay for Mercury in the earthy sign of Capricorn and will include a retrograde from December 13th, 2023 through January 1st of 2024, with the pre- and post-shadow dates being November 25th and January 20th. Take this opportunity to rethink your approach to reaching your goals. Venus will be in Scorpio from December 4th through the 29th. Although this is considered Venus's sign of detriment, while in Scorpio, passions run hot and sultry, sexy moves are possible. On the 6th, Neptune resumes direct motion at 24 degrees Pisces. This can be a time of off-the-chart dreams. Pay attention to the messages they are sending you. There will be a new moon, 20 degrees Sagittarius, on December 12th. It will be conjunct Mars. You will want to know what to do with this energy. Be sure to listen to my new moon tarot guidance when it becomes available. Mercury will retrograde beginning the 13th. It will start at 8 degrees Capricorn. Hopefully you have your holiday shopping out of the way. Avoid electronics and anything with moving parts now. The Sun enters Capricorn on the 21st, at the time of the winter-summer solstice. Seasonal changes always bring with them powerful energy shifts. A full moon, 4 degrees Cancer, happens December 26th. Jupiter and Saturn will both be wonderfully supportive at the full moon. For more information, listen to my full moon tarot guidance. Chiron goes direct at 15 degrees Aries on the 26th. Let the healing begin. Venus enters Sagittarius on the 29th. Optimistic outlooks reign supreme during this transit when it comes to both love and money. However, attention to important details can be lost, so do make sure you double-check your work. On the 30th, Jupiter is the final planet to go direct before we close out the year. Jupiter never stops giving, even while retrograde. Listen carefully to the aspects for the month, because you do not need to wait for Jupiter to go direct to take advantage. As for aspects, Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Saturn in Pisces on the 2nd. This is a great time to be going over any important papers, documents which need to be signed, and any type of critical thinking which you might have had difficulty with during other transits. Today is a good day to sign on the dotted line, obviously after a thorough review of all the details. When you think Saturn, think long term. So anything you sign now should be favored to remain in effect for some time to come. You will not find it to be a social transit. It is not one where you wine and dine someone in order to pitch whatever it is you want them to hear. Talk to them openly and honestly. This is a more serious toned aspect, one where you will accomplish great things by being reliable and knowledgeable. If you have no contracts or negotiations to be concerned with, devote this energy toward learning new things, and they will be with you for a lifetime. Venus, still at home in Libra, squares Pluto in Capricorn December 3rd. If you have any type of relationship which is already strained, this could prove to be a hot button moment. Someone attempting a power grab in order to have complete control is definitely not out of the question. Possessive, obsessive, and jealous behavior can give rise to almost stalker-like tendencies. While this energy can be transformative for relationships which are currently in good standing, it can bring the death and destruction of those which are not. By the 5th, Venus, now in Scorpio, will trine Saturn in Pisces. When Saturn gets involved, you are in it for the long haul. Venus, of course, is all about love and money. This is an aspect which will require a long-term commitment from you. Be sure it is a relationship you wish to be in for a long time. And remember, it is not necessarily a loved one. It can be business, etc. As for finances, only invest and tie up funds which you feel you can do without while you wait for the payoff. If you meet someone new as a love interest, it could turn out to be a relationship which lasts, and you will find you are extremely compatible. If you have been in a committed relationship for some time, now would be the ideal opportunity to take it to the next level. For example, moving in together, or even a marriage proposal. The Sagittarius Sun trines Chiron in Aries on the 7th. Where the sun shines, it brings favor, and in this case, some much needed healing. This could be long overdue, and some of the scars which need healing might run very deep. Finally, energy which allows you to creatively explore the means to melt those scars away. Also on the 7th, there will be a trine with Mercury and Jupiter. Good news, positive news. There is an abundance of optimism here in both thought and communication. If long-distance travel is on your agenda, it is currently favored, and you will enjoy the scenery and cultures of the places you visit. Those who are not traveling will likely find themselves looking to learn new things through study, including of the spiritual variety, which would expand your beliefs and knowledge in this area. Legal matters should proceed favorably now, and if negotiations are necessary, they should also go well, making this an ideal time to sign contracts. This can be a very social time for you, but it is also one where you should be organizing things in your life. On the 9th, Venus opposes Jupiter. This transit is a bit of a double-edged sword in that it gives one the ability to enjoy life, have fun, party until the wee hours, and be loving as well. The flip side to this is whether or not it is how you should be spending your time. If there are more important things to which you should be tending and you are slacking, then there will likely be consequences for your actions. Socializing will be more of a priority, no matter what your priorities actually are. Be careful not to take on excessive behaviors. Mercury sextiles Venus December 11th. This very social transit is one where you can let your hair down for a bit and take time for yourself to just be. Some of this could depend on how relationships are going at the moment. So do read for other influences surrounding this aspect for a clearer picture of things. Overall, however, things should feel less stressful, and when these two come together in such a positive manner, your charms become a superpower, one which you can wield to gain favor and obtain things you want. Mercury sextile Venus can create positive influences in both your love and money sectors, and perhaps even help you to achieve some form of resolution with a long-term issue. The 15th brings a trine with the Sagittarius Sun and the North Node in Aries. Opportunity awaits when the Sun trines the North Node, opening up a new direction for you, one which allows you to achieve a goal or to manifest something positive. Also on the 15th, Mars in Sagittarius will trine Chiron in Aries. Mars steps in to provide the necessary impetus to take action where needed in order to heal a situation. Chiron has a way of bringing situations to you head on in order to be faced. This should prove to be a healing combination. On the 16th, the Sun squares Neptune in Pisces. This is a particularly deceptive transit, and if you are prone to be overwhelmed by Neptune's influence, you will need to guard against those who would seek to deceive you. It is one of those times when it is not advisable to sign anything or to enter into agreements of any kind. Under this aspect, scammers seek to scam, and others, even those close to you, might attempt to pull the wool over your eyes. Mercury trines Jupiter December 18th. Good news, positive news. This is a repeat from the 7th. Pay close attention to what these two are bringing your way. It can often take, say, up to 6 months to actually see the results of Jupiter's involvement. Venus opposes Uranus on the 21st. This is a tricky one, as it has a bit of an easy come, easy go feel to it. Venus, after all, is both love and money. Were something to suddenly occur out of the blue in a relationship, it could be enough to end it, unless it was a very solid one. The ensuing drama would simply be too much for a relationship which is already on thin ice. Insofar as new relationships, indeed something which appears out of nowhere, could feel rather exciting, but not something which would last very long. When it comes to your money, it is a good idea to refrain from gambling or with going overboard with expenditures. Also, on the 21st, Mercury will sextile Saturn. You can refer back to what I said on the 2nd for this one. December 22nd, there will be a cazimi as the Sun conjuncts Mercury, also known as a Mercury cazimi, meaning in the heart of the Sun. Sun conjunct Mercury is the best possible aspect for communications and thinking. Mentally, this can be a very busy day for you, allowing you to clear your desk and maintain the mental focus needed to see projects through to completion. It is also a good day for running all of those errands you have been putting off, comprising short trips all over town. You could find yourself feeling chattier than usual, but this is because you were able to think clearer. Keep an ear open for news which could come your way now. This one happens to be taking place at the 0-degree mark, making it extra potent. On the 24th, the Capricorn Sun sextiles Saturn. Normally, when you hear Saturn, you probably want to run the other way. In this case, you can embrace all this sextile has to offer. If your work ethic has been suffering in any way, or you simply feel you cannot reach your goals because the things you need to do are too hard, then you will love this aspect. It is designed to give you the confidence and the drive to tackle the big jobs, and with success. Finally, there's a great deal of determination and willpower available to you here to meet your goals and get the job done. Help is also available should you need it, so do not be afraid to ask the advice of a more mature and experienced individual. Their insight can be invaluable to you. Mars trines the North Node December 25th. This is a powerful transit, and if you have been looking for stamina, drive, and determination, courage even, to step up and get the job done, then this is your moment. Mars is all of these things for you, and the North Node is your direction. You can really make great headway with something now as you steer yourself toward positive changes in your best interest. Also on the 25th, Venus trines Neptune. Heightened sensitivity in matters of love is possible now, if you can set aside any fantasizing about who, what the perfect love for you might be. Neptune's influence can cause one to don the rose-colored glasses, which can be known to skew the truth of things. Often it is possible to believe that everyone you encounter is the one. Romance and compassion rule the day, and creativity is definitely something which should be explored if the love realm is of no current interest to you. You can definitely make headway on your creative projects now. Take a long walk, immerse yourself in the beauty of nature, allow yourself to take it all in, find a way to connect with the performing arts in some way. This is a very tender, loving, and intuitive transit, which can bring out the softer side, even in those with the toughest exteriors. Mercury will square Neptune on the 27th. This transit has proceed with caution written all over it. Critical thinking is not likely to be available, and deception and confusion abound, as Neptune has a way of exacerbating both of them. The conspiracy theorists will be out in full force, and falling prey to their mistruths is something which can happen to even the best. Do your best not to commit to anything important at this time, and by all means be as truthful as you can in your dealings, for otherwise they could come back to bite you. Avoid any substances which can influence the mind and further worsen your abilities to perceive. If you do feel confused and you need to decide something, seek professional help for qualified answers. Also on the 27th, the Sun trines Jupiter. This is one of the best feel-good aspects of all. The Sun brings positivity and warmth, while Jupiter bestows good luck and good fortune, expanding all it touches. The combination of these two can leave you feeling pretty good about things. Do not be so overcome in the moment you forget to take advantage of any abundance which the universe has on offer. There might be a potentially awesome opportunity which is available to you, and you would not want to miss out. Mercury and Mars will be traveling together, forming a conjunction on the 27th. It provides quick thinking and decision making, but it is important to be aware of your responses. The mind is sharp now, but the tongue could be even sharper. It would be easy to project any resentment or anger onto the first person with whom you cross paths. Arguments are possible to come easy now, and some people could appear to be very rude. Finding a productive outlet for this energy would be most helpful. On the 28th, Mars squares Neptune. If prone to feelings of paranoia, this is not your transit. Things are not clear when Mars squares Neptune, and it can conjure up undue suspicion, the inability to determine who is lying and who is not, while probably thinking everyone is. Do not allow yourself to fall into a pit of confusion and weakness. You might not feel up to doing much, but learning to forgive yourself is key. This is not a time to commit to more, as you could lack the energy to already cover what you have on your plate. Are people talking about you, or do you just fear they are gossiping? Definitely avoid any new situations, particularly those of a romantic nature, for you cannot clearly see what is real. Plan on positive projects to reinforce your belief in yourself and to bolster your spirits. Venus sextiles Pluto December 29th. Affairs, whether sexual or of the heart, can find their roots in a transit such as this one. Venus is passionate, while Pluto can be secretive, and even if not an affair, one could have a personal reason for not going public. For example, a celebrity tired of being under constant scrutiny. Existing love can change and become more intense now, as desire demands what you have to be more meaningful. Not all are seeking love, and it is those who will benefit from good friendships, companions, and associations. It is possible to be bitten by the love bug now, even to the point where someone becomes your obsession. I count 22 major aspects for the month. That's about average, but I want to speak on what I feel, if you can understand and it resonates with you. This has to do with both November and December, okay? After months of, things which have been frustrating or holding you back or whatever, and changes you might have been trying to make that probably are not totally complete yet. However, as you approach, whether you're listening to this at the end of November, beginning of December, but as you approach the end of November, it appears that some things have changed substantially. They might not be visible to the public, but you know what they are. Here's the catch. Whether you know it or not, a new storyline has begun. You might not be privy to what is coming later on. I'm thinking March, April, and May will be very significant in this time frame. I mentioned the 2024 readings. The 2024 is like an unbelievably, I'm not going to say it's going to be stress-free and over-the-top fantastic for everyone, because life happens, right? But there is so much to look forward to next year. You're definitely going to want to have a listen to those. However, as we go from November to December, the way I'm seeing it is that this new storyline, and mind you, you still have continuing storylines, is just beginning to unfold. And around Christmas time, that week between Christmas and New Year's, I've mentioned it to you so many times, there is definitely something going on. Does it pertain to the new storyline? We shall wait and see. But there is no denying that some things have changed, whether you planned on them or not. I do believe it's important we all remember that Mercury will retrograde in December and is already in shadow as the month begins. So the story, as it's unfolding, is going to take a little tweaking down the line, I should think. Things are definitely changing, especially when it comes to, conflict has been around, maybe some tension. It might be time to, how can I put it, like mend fences with some people. And with others, realize that you cannot. Now, we do have, Venus moving into Scorpio. I did discuss that. And the cards here are leading me to believe that there is a focus toward relationships when it comes to December. Not just the relationships themselves, all right? I don't want to give any specific examples of anyone's story that I know, but a way of life which has changed for someone dramatically, which could represent huge loss for them. It's time to adjust to this new way of life, which is here. And it becomes more significant when that full moon arrives the week of Christmas and New Year's. Will, however, say, now the full moon this month is in Cancer, but I will say this, I feel that there is patience required, and again, I'm not getting into 2024 here because there's way too much to talk about, but on January 25th, we have a full moon at 5 degrees Leo, and I think you're going to need to be patient until then. It just seems like there's a lot of extra, stuff on you, responsibility, which needs to be handled, and you're going to do it. All right, you're going to do it. So with all the planetary influences and everything going on, there is some form of indecision which is here, and feeling like some things, like I wish I could get the ball rolling here, but it's at a standstill, right? It's at a stalemate. That's okay. You need to remember some things are all about the timing. When I look, I really, really think you're going to be surprised at the way things turn out, okay? Because I've been telling you for a while that you kind of think it's going one way, and it turns out much differently. Now, around the solstice, which is on, the 21st of December, when the sun moves into Capricorn, it's going to be time to really assess things, okay? And not just, I think some of it, it's like, your personal status quo, the give and take that is there. Again, within relationships, maybe learning to be a little more self-indulgent for yourself, okay? I'm not talking about being selfish or anything like that, but kind of remembering you along the way. There's nothing wrong with, I am always someone who is very much in favor of humanitarian efforts and being kind to your fellow man and all of that. But there has to come a point where you remember that you are also part of humankind and that you need some things as well. I feel like there's I want to say like a major wish, which is, it's coming in around the full moon, okay? But I don't think, and I don't know how to explain this, I don't think its real arrival, like what it brings, happens until, say, between June and September, all right? Don't go, right? There's a reason for this. There is a reason for this. Now, I mentioned Jupiter on several occasions. Jupiter has a way of, setting up scenarios and connections where we meet people, we come in contact with people, and we might not realize until 6 months down the line the impact that connection made on our lives. But I think it's by September, it has arrived. It's there at your feet, and it's yours, okay? Think about that, because this is, I'm telling you, there's a storyline. You might not know what it is. It might be playing out elsewhere, and not all of it has made its way to your doorstep just yet. Powerful change is in the works. The only thing that you can do is map out your own strategies, your own plan, and do what it takes to accomplish your own goals, your own transformation, and, new beginnings. Now, there were a couple of times there where I mentioned good news, exciting news, right? It's here. It is here. It brings with it new beginnings. But the question is now, that comes around twice. Are both times pertaining to the same story? Or are they different? That remains to be seen as you go through the month. However, this will reflect upon how you choose to go after your goals. You have to remember, it was a Mercury thing, all right? Mercury will be retrograde, so you will probably need to do and redo until you get everything right. Taking your time and doing it right the first time is always a good thing. That Capricornian energy in that respect, with being methodical, won't steer you wrong when it comes to manifestation. But, boy, things are, I want to say like after February, they're really just going to pick up. I say no more. all right? But you are working on, yeah, all right. See, you don't seem to need to make the choices for everything just yet, but you will. And I would imagine once that Leo full moon arrives and, February comes, you're ready. You're ready to decide. You're ready to move forward. Oh, jeez. Just like that. Just as words do crack me up sometimes because, they're right there. And I'm saying it before I flip them over. So I absolutely love it. Things are moving on in new directions. And it's like checking the direction the wind is blowing. Keep an eye out for those North Node transits. All right, the North Node is currently in Aries. And whatever that Aries energy means for you is there's new direction, which is coming in your life. And I'm going to throw March 25th out there, and we're going to see where that takes us. Because I feel like at that time, you have success and you have your power. And mind you, you've been working on taking it back, but it's still a little bit in question this month, isn't it? Not everything, no matter how hard you tried, is as you hoped it would be. But I am here to tell you, if you look around, you can see how many things have changed and how some of these stories have connected with your life, crossed your path. So many things are going on. You would not have known if I asked you what you thought 2023 was going to be, that it would ultimately wind up this way. Keep planting those seeds of intention. Keep working at them. It's like the universe is trying to throw you a lifeline or a will. You just need to be able to, reach for it and kind of separate yourself from, because there have been things in life where you were betrayed. You feel betrayed. It doesn't necessarily have to be by people or in love relationships. It can be by life itself where you just feel you didn't get a fair shake. But there's something which is changing. And, you're going to be a whole lot wiser. Let's just circle March 25th and say something is coming in which is going to help you feel more powerful for the long term. Oh, absolutely. Look at you. Taking back your life. You're already doing it. I want you to know that. You're already doing it. It has begun, whether you're totally realizing it or not. Because at some point you're going to turn around and you're going to say, look at this. Look at what I have been through. Fought my way through the fog and just kept on going. As I said before, there are many stories which are going on in your life. Not everything is about you and a singular focus. There is a whole lot which is taking place. And one of these scenarios, not just the one that began late in December or started taking on a form of life in November is what I meant to say. Took on a form of life in November, but in December, this is what I'm getting at here, you're entering one at the time of the solstice, and it's going to run from solstice to solstice. Remember, I mentioned that June to September thing coming. Yeah, this is just like, stay tuned, because there's a whole lot more coming your way. Victory. I see victory everywhere, by the way. Over things of the past. Like, stepping out into your own, feeling like you're in your own skin again kind of thing. But really putting yourself out there and finding the zone, right? Some greater balance in your life and freedom from situations. Boy, this can be anything. It can be health issues which have perplexed you and tied you down. Definitely, I'm telling you, over these coming months, just mark yourself as to, what happens, say, from the time the sun entered Sagittarius to when you get to, that full moon in Sagittarius coming up, probably somewhere in there. Wow. Yeah, this is just, make sure you focus on, and this is difficult, mind you, this is difficult, because Neptune sitting in there, right? Sitting there. Goes direct in December, but it doesn't move really, really quick. So the clarity doesn't come right away. You need to operate with facts and figures, not hunches, okay? Because if you do everything on a whim, it's probably going to come back to bite you in the ass. And, it just isn't going to work. So there is here the way I see it, not allowing yourself to be part of the crowd. I don't know if that's quite the right word to use there, but I think paying close attention and giving your effort to everything is going to be very key. Facts, figures, learning. Been a while since we brought up learning. I think there's been too many distractions, but I did see it a little ways back. That can be part of your power, is putting not just the skills that you have to, work for you, but also acquiring some new ones. Yeah. Not everyone and everything always approves of what you do. But what you need to remember is that it's your life, and thoughts are things. So don't dwell on what will everybody else think. Do what's right for you. This is an amazing time which is coming up. A lot of it is happening this month, and I don't know how to explain it other than I would say because of the Mercury retrograde. But it's setting something up here, and how it plays out and when you realize where it's taking you is further down the line, okay? So, you can come back later and say, oh my God. Yeah. We're looking at, I still think like March, April, and May are going to be extremely significant. And we will get into them more later on in the 2024 readings. I just, a roadmap for happiness, but you have felt held back. Honest to goodness, it's like you knew what you wanted, marching to the beat of your own drummer, and finally the clarity comes. Yeah. Oh, look at this. I'm telling you. March, April, May. I know you don't understand everything I'm saying now as you listen to this, because I don't think you have a full realization of what is coming. You have your wishes, you have your hopes and dreams, and you do have that realization that what you have been wishing for a very long time is going to be yours in probably less than a year. So something is afoot here. But when it comes to the universe setting things up, we don't always know all of the details that go into it. I always sit back and analyze these things and say, wow, what a complicated process. We had to put this person over here to make that happen, and that one over there to make that happen. And so thought they were going to do this, but then they wound up over there. So it all eventually does mean something. But where you're at right now, there is something which is beginning. And it may not have an ending, so to speak, because it feels like it's the beginning of something you have wanted for a really, really long time. Now that's a lot of food for thought. And what you can do now is to focus on the parts that you do understand. Don't worry about whether or not it's going to fit in with what somebody else is planning, because that's not how this works. You have to do you, what's right for you. And it's just big picture, little picture. There's a lot to take in, and there are choices coming up in the next few months which will put you on the road to exactly where you need to be. I hope you have enjoyed this. This is an incredible month leading to incredible journeys. I want to thank you all very much for being here, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.